Okay, so I just finished watching the first episode of the new Netflix adaptation of Avatar The Last Airbender, and I have a lot of thoughts. I watched the first couple minutes yesterday when I just had some free time just to see what it looked like, and I didn't really want to sit down and watch a whole episode until I had a chance to actually sit and think about it. And I took notes, because why not? And this is kind of some of the things that I touched on. The opening, I'm not going to go into really any spoilers, but the opening scene, I don't know, it felt kind of unnecessary. It's just two nameless dudes. They don't really seem to do a whole lot. They're just kind of there. And I think that it showed off some of the good and the bad about the bending. I think the fire bending is a lot better. I don't love the way the effects look. I think that they just need a little bit more time to work on them, but it's out now, so it is what it is. But I think I figured out the problem with the earthbending is that the earthbenders do something, but then it takes it a couple seconds to happen. Where in the original show, the earthbenders will do something. Sometimes it'll take a second, but usually it's pretty quick, pretty fluid movement. So you really see that kind of speed and pacing. Then after that, it goes into kind of this whole big reveal. I don't know. It felt a little unnecessary to me, but that's just me. The guy that plays Sozin, he looks alright, but he just kind of, I don't know, the hair and the beard are looking him look a little wrong. Maybe the actor just doesn't look quite old enough. I'm not sure what's wrong with there. Why did they make it so that Aang can fly? And then later on, he can't fly? I don't know. It didn't really make a ton of sense to me. That was something that kind of, I don't know, just didn't seem right from the original show. Yeah, I already touched on the bending. It looks a little disjointed. I think some of the effects of the backgrounds look a little wonky. I'd say overall that like the effects look solid, but it's almost like an uncanny valley for nature. I don't think there's a word for that. If there is, I don't know, let me know. But it just looks a little off. I think it's the lighting. The lighting of the characters and the lighting of the environment just doesn't match. But they still look really, really good. And I think it's just that things look a little too clean. Like they don't look real, but I find that's a lot of effects and things nowadays is they just don't look quite dirty or lived in. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, the costumes though, the costumes look pretty good. And the trailers, I was like, I don't know. But overall, the costumes I think actually looked really, really solid. Aang's costume looks like it's just ripped right out of the animation. Same with a lot of the Water Tribe outfits. There's one or two where I was like, I don't know, that piece looks a little off, but overall, the costumes look fantastic. At least so far. I know later on, I don't know, the trailer showed some things that looked a little iffy, but so far, costumes look solid. What else here? Oh yeah, the opening narration they got the same kind of opening narration scene that was always in the Avatar. And, I don't know, it just didn't hit the same. I don't know, it feels so doom and depressing. Whereas the first one feels like, oh yeah, hope now that Avatar is back. It just, I don't know, something about it didn't feel right. I will say I really like the guy that played Iroh. I was a little iffy on him before, but I think Paul Sun-Huang Lee, I don't know if I said his name right, and if I didn't, I'm sorry. I was a little iffy on him, but you know what? I think it could grow on me over the next couple episodes. I do think it lost some of that playfulness of Aang, and especially some of that playfulness of Monkey Yatso. I don't know, the relationship felt a little weird. I think maybe it was just the dialogue. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like Aang's lost some of his fun and whimsical aspects. Sokka, we'll see. Katara feels about the same as, I don't know. Yeah, there's a couple moments where it just didn't feel quite right. Let's see if I missed anything. The music. Oh yeah, the music. The score. They used the credits for the credits that the original had. But overall, I don't know why they didn't use a lot of the same music. Maybe it wouldn't fit. Maybe they did. Maybe I just didn't notice. But the music just didn't feel the same. Maybe that's just a me problem. But let's see. Opening. Aang flying. Sozin. Dialogue. Backgrounds. Clean. Costumes. Narration. Iroh. Playfulness. Music. Yeah, I think that kind of touches on everything I wrote down. The rest of my thoughts off the top of my head, I don't know. It's as someone that was such a big fan of the original, I think it would definitely, no matter what they did, it's probably not going to feel right. Something I did look at is, well, what are they going to cut? And then I was kind of like, well, every episode looks to be about an hour. Obviously, not all of them are exactly an hour. But the original series was about 20-minute episodes. And this looks to be about 8 one-hour episodes. So I think it's actually going to even out to be roughly the same amount of content. So I'll be curious of how they adjust the story. And obviously there's some things they have to adjust the story for because they just have to. It's usually something they always do. I am a little worried with the original creators of the show leaving. Some of the news things that have come out about the show are feeling a little, I don't know. I so badly want this to be good. I was and am still such a huge fan of Avatar The Last Airbender. I think it's just one of those nostalgic shows, and I get why they're remaking it. The M. Night film was horrendous, but I'm seeing some of the issues that came from that popping up a little bit in this. The effects of ATLA look really, really good. The show itself, seems fine. I think it's just one of those things where you're getting some, or I feel like I'm getting some pushback just because of how much of a fan I was of the original. But I really hope to God it can be good and that it can still live up to the original. Even if they do change some things, I can live with that. I don't know. As of right now, episode 1, I'm feeling a little iffy. But I'm going to watch episode 2 right now, probably make another video on that, and then episode 3, and just every time I'm going to talk to the camera, give my thoughts, how I feel, write down some notes, and hopefully it gets better, or I feel better about it. I don't know. We will see.